Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm just getting you guys brought up on my Facebook page so I can see comments and see what's going on. Make sure I have the volume turned down on this. It's a cold, wintry day in Arizona, and I know it's a really cold and probably miserable day on the rest of the country. So if you're just coming on, say hello. Hello, my friend Mary. Hello, my friend Mickey. Thanks, ladies. After yesterday's disaster, I'll be grateful anybody shows up today. I guess I can just say I'm fortunate because I've been doing lives now for my 6-year anniversary is going to be in a couple of months. It's in April. So, and I didn't start doing lives until about 2 years in. So I've been doing lives now for 4 years, 4.5 years, somewhere in there. Mary, glad to hear it. I don't even want to talk about that darn board from yesterday, but I don't even know where I put it. Here it is. I just walked away from it last night. I was so upset with it. But I did pull some of the stencil off just when I sat down in here, and it's coming off fine now that it's had time to properly dry. So it was just that I was rushing it just too much yesterday, and there could be a lot of humidity in the air here, so it just was a bad live. and to you ladies that were part of it, I'm sorry, but Mary, I'm really glad yours came out perfect, because I know that's going to be for your pour. So I'm completely switching gears today, and I printed off some printables, and I think these are so darn cute. Hi, Melissa. This is the girl bunny, and she's kind of vintage. She's got kind of a little serious look on her face. And then this is the boy, and he's bringing her a pretty bouquet of flowers, like a gentleman. Those are the two we're going to be working with today. And when I was printing them off, this one was, I sized it, but it printed off the wrong size. But I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'll just use it for a different project. But he's certainly cute enough to use. So, and these printables, I put the links in the description, but these printables are available on my Etsy. These, you just download them and print them off of your own color printer. And I would like to give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. For some reason, my face looks really red in the camera. Yes, Mickey, I just walked away from it, and I did, I just showed it a minute ago. I did, when I came in here to clear off my work table for the next project, I did lift and peel a few areas, and this is the way it looked when I left yesterday. And it is lifting and peeling properly now that it's had time to dry. So it could have been because we've got more humidity than we normally do. I definitely rushed it. And so, you know, it was just a bad live. Oh, well, thank you, Melissa. In the camera, it looks like I've got a sunburn or something. So with these two darlings, and we're only going to work on one today, but I was starting to say, they are available up on the Etsy. You can print them off on a colored printer, and the way you do it, and they're sized to fit these boards. And frankly, I need to order some more of these. I'm using the last two of them today. And even if it says on my website I still have them, I don't. I just didn't have time before the live to go in there and make that correction. And since you can resize these to any size your project is, that's one of the advantages. Two advantages. You have instant access. You don't have to pay shipping on it. They're inexpensive. They're $1.75 because there's no cost for me. Once I post them up there, there's no additional cost. If you have a good color printer, then this is printed off on rice paper. And I get the rice paper off of Amazon, and there's several different choices and brands. The brand that I've used for years, the last time I looked, wasn't available on Amazon, so I'll have to try another brand. But I think they're both really similar. All of them are really similar. So this has a textured side to the sheet. I don't know if you can see the texture in there, but it has a texture side, and then it has a slick. It's not a shiny side, but it's completely smooth. There's no texture on this side. So what I do is just pretend this is another piece of paper. I'm going to put the camera down. So this is our little girl. This is a blank piece of paper. So this is the rice paper, and it's blank. And I take a glue stick, and I've used tape, I've used all kinds of things, but for me, the glue stick works the best every single time. And so I take the glue stick and I do a line across here, a line across here, up each side. I do like a circle. This is my routine. I do like a circle in each corner. Then I take the glue stick and I go like this with it all across the whole thing. And then this is my rice paper, the textured side up. Then I lay it down on the printer paper. And this paper is bigger than your printer paper, so I always have to take the scissors and trim it down. And then I smooth it all out to make sure it's stuck on there really well, because you don't want it to get caught up or stuck in your printer when it's going through. And then on my particular printer, and yours could be different, then I turn it over. This is blank. I turn it over, and so the rice paper's on the bottom, and the way it feeds up, it will print on it. Your printer could be completely different. And then when it prints, I pull it off immediately because you don't want that glue stick to set up on it, and then it's ready to go. And on the Etsy site, these are sized this size that we're working on today. If you want different sizes, like I have these little, I love these little wooden, like gift tags. And I have some that are like the cutting boards. And these, and again, I think my website might be inaccurate. I only have one. I only have this one. So if you guys want one of these, there's only one. Go for it. I think the website might be right with these. I'm not sure, but I only have two of these. I just didn't have time before we went live to make those corrections. But you could resize these bunnies down to fit any size project you're working on. You can downsize them, you can upsize them. So that's how that works. And today we're going to only work on the girl. They're both just so cute. And I have a thing about bunnies. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, it's the truth. So for the bottom of this, I'm just going to cut the bottom off. And I will get some more of these boards ordered because they are fun. You can tie a ribbon through them and hang them on a door handle or up on the wall. And I think these are really nice too if you're doing a gift basket for somebody, to have some of these just made up to put in a basket, I think is really cute too. Okay, so that's where I want the bottom to go. And you guys, I'm going to do the Pin Tart Crackle on this too. So it's going to be a fun project. Unlike yesterday. Hi, Queen Bee. I'm so glad you came back. I have, Mickey, I have a Canon. I can post it after the live, the model that I have. It's a really good one. And it's a color printer, and I never print anything off of it except things that I'm doing art with. I don't want to waste my ink on it. So I have two printers. I have a nice laser printer that I print, you know, all my orders and stuff like that on it. Another thing, you guys, is, you know how I like to like what I just did, wet your paper and then tear it? Rice paper is harder to tear. Rice paper has a lot of fibers in it, and it is harder to tear. But I don't want straight lines, so I'm gonna just do the best I can do on this. Oh, I left off a very important thing. Also, I'm gonna let that water sit. Also, after I've printed them off, then I take them outside and I spray 2 or 3 coats, letting it dry in between each coat, of this Crayon Fine Art Fixative Spray. And lots of people want to know how you set the ink on here, because it's going to get wet when you're decoupaging. And so this is what I use. I just stick a clothespin on it. I take it outside. I hold it out into the wind and I spray it 2 or 3 times liberally. You don't want it running on there, but you want to get a good coat on there. And then I let that dry, and then I come in and with my iron with no water in it, on cotton, with a piece of parchment paper, I heat set it. And maybe only one or the other of those things are necessary, but you know, I'm just taking out an insurance policy on it, because I don't want any bleeding or running happening. So that's how I set these. This, letting that water sit there for a minute did help. That was much easier. And there's little spots here with white, and I don't want white. Okay, so, and I don't think I have to worry about the edges, because this kind of like goes over slightly on the edge. So I'm just going to take the scissors and cut that edge off. And if you guys have been hanging around me for a while, you know how much I love bunnies. There's bunnies in every single room of my house. And I'm making more. There's bunnies in the bathrooms, bedrooms, family rooms, living room, literally every room. And when my kids were growing up, we had a pet bunny for a while. Okay, so that's what she's gonna look like. And I am gonna put the crackle on. And I was thinking, I forgot to grab it, but I was thinking after we're all done with it, I might just get some, I think I have some like Easter ribbon that has bunnies or something on it and just do something on there. I might stencil up here. I don't know yet. A stencil up there would be really pretty too. So the color, bet you can't guess what color I'm going to paint this. You would think it was the only jar of paint I have, but it's just such a perfect color. So it matches that, and I'm going to use some brown wax on it. There are just colors that you should have in your stash that are just your go-to colors for all your projects. And this is one of them. This is a go-to. Yours too, Mary? That makes me happy. I've taught you well, Mary. Yours too, Melissa? Queen Bee, I'll go back for you, all of you that want to know what my printer is, because it does, and I bought it specifically to print out printables. And I don't have a bunch of printables on my Etsy because I just add them up there when I've done a project. It's not my focus. But I think I think it's just a nice thing to be able to do, because there's lots of nice designs out there, you guys. And if I didn't have my own line, the decoupage tissue, I would probably use more printables. But that doesn't mean I want you guys to stop buying my decoupage tissue. I'm working on some new designs. I have them all designed. That for me is the fun and the easy part. Getting them uploaded onto the websites and uploaded to the printer are not so fun. The printer, getting it loaded for the printer is not fun at all. I have literally cried doing that. The printer people aren't nice people. They aren't helpful, and their system is very complex. But I'm working on it. Okay, I need a little spritzing on here. That makes your paint go on really smooth with no brush strokes. I love Dixie Belle. I don't care about all the gossip and junk that goes on out there. I've used it, like I said, I'm going on 6 years. And it is the best paint. And I've used other brands. I have friends that have other brands. I just love it. And I'm not bad-mouthing any other brands that are out there. Use what you love, but I am saying this is a great paint. I need to get another order in, but with all of this cold Dixie Belle is located in Florida, and they have sent out emails to all of the retailers that to hold off your orders, or they're holding them from their end because of all the bad weather across the nation, and you can't have the paint freeze. It ruins the paint. So they're holding off on processing orders and shipping. So I'm just holding off too. I want to get these edges. And I'll look at your comments in just a second. I just get to chattering along. It's kind of, you know, it's just me and Scruffy here. There's nobody else. So when I get a chance to talk to you guys, I have all kinds of stuff to talk about. The only time I basically leave the house is sometimes to get groceries. Sometimes I just get them delivered. And gas in the car. And gas in the car now will last me over a month. And if there's anything going on special at my daughter's, I go over there. But I don't leave much anymore. It's not healthy. So then when I get to talking to you guys, I have a lot to talk about. Just chat away, huh? Queen Bee, you're driving home from work? And where is work? I do that sometimes. If I've got a creator that I like to follow, or they're doing something I'm really interested in seeing and I'm driving, I'll put the phone up on my, like where your speedometer and all of that is, there's like a little shelf there. I just put my phone up there. And even if I'm obviously not watching, I can hear. And if I need to glance down for something, I can glance down. There's probably a few of you that would rather you didn't just hear me say that. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay, this is such a nice neutral color. And it really is the color of drop cloth because I've had it on my drop cloth and it is so much the same color as drop cloth. It's pretty amazing to me. But it's such a neutral color that you can just do so much with it. That's why I say it's just a good color to have in your stash. And I have a couple of nightstands I'm thinking about bringing into the house and doing a live on, because I finally figured out I've had them for a while and they're kind of different and unusual, and I just finally figured out what I'm going to do with them. Mary, I'll put a link in here for you. I order it off of Amazon, and it's like, it's a lot. Because I go through a lot. I'll put the link in for you. I really, really like it. You can buy sheets of it. You can buy sheets at, if you only want a sheet at a time, I think it's available at Michael's. but I'm not sure. And I use, first of all, the sheets are 12 by 12, and a lot of my designs are bigger than that. I sell a lot of stencils. And so I buy a big roll of it, but I want to say it's 300 yards, but that could be wrong. Ooh, chicken fajitas sounds delicious. I might just have another grilled cheese sandwich. It'll be the third time this week. Hi, Micheline. Okay, I just wanted to be sure I got that good and dry. And I don't like to, I haven't said it in a while, but I don't like to shake my jars, you guys, because it all gets gooped up on your lid. And then it dries and it makes your lids really hard to open. And so I don't know why it took me so many years to figure out, don't shake it, just open it up. And it's still goopy, but my lid isn't goopy, and it's not goopy on the outside. And then I just take my popsicle stick and I just stir it up good. And I wash my popsicle sticks too, so I'm not using 1,000 of those. Just a tip. You'll thank me later. Okay, so here's our little girl, and see how much prettier she's looking on this background? And I'm going to do something up here. I just haven't figured out yet what I'm going to do up there. But she's super cute. All right, and then I need a little bit of satin top coat. That's what I use for decoupage medium. It's never going to crack. It's never going to yellow. Mod Podge will over time. And this is, the top coat is the same thing that you would top coat your furniture with. So it makes sense that you can decoupage with it and that it's not going to crack and yellow on you. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm going to lift it up. And I like to decoupage in sections. I've watched lots of videos where people are putting the medium down on the whole piece, and then they hover over the top of it and hope that they get their piece on there straight. And then they lay it down, and then they get bubbles in it. And some of them do it really well. Some of them do a really good job. But that's not how I do it. I do a section at a time, and I'm using plastic. You could also use, and I sell these, so if this is your preference, you can do that. And I like them to be in a plastic bag so that my felt doesn't get medium on it, and I can just use it over and over and just wipe my plastic bag off. Just a little tip. Okay. And then I just pull it back and do another section. And I'm just working up to where my line is, where my fold is. I don't want to get a bunch of medium under there. And just do a section at a time. Thanks, Kathy. The sisters are rolling in. Yeah, I'm thinking a raised stencil up there at the top would be really cute. Great minds work in the same way, because I was thinking that before we started that, and I have a particular one in mind, and that would be a good thing to demonstrate. I have to make it, so I might have to just come on and do a short little demo on how to do a raised stencil. But if you came on late, I just want to tell you that these, and I'll go back and show you the little boy too, that these prints are available, and I did put the link in on the live, and I think the link is on the description. It's on my Etsy page, and they're printables. So you can just print them off, and you can print off as many as you want. And then just be sure that you use the fixative spray that I showed you. And a hot iron. As you can see, I don't have any ink bleeding here. And that's a question people ask all the time. How do you keep it from bleeding? And I've heard people say you can use hairspray, and it would make sense that that would work, but I did try hairspray and it didn't work for me. And I've heard people say you just have to iron it, and that didn't work for me. But doing the combination of spraying it really well, like 3 coats of spray, and letting it dry in between each one, and a hot iron with no water in it on cotton and parchment paper, that worked really well. Gotta love this sweet little bunny. Bless her little heart. If you guys came on late, I'll show you her boyfriend. He brought her that bouquet of flowers, and he's got more for her. He's got a real crush on her. He's real cute, like Scruffy is. Okay, so we don't have any wrinkles. Okay, if you didn't see the boy, here he is. He's super, super cute. He's got his best coat on and a fancy scarf, a nice vest. He's just really handsome. And when I was trying to get the right sizes for these, and like I said, they're sizable, resizable. This printed off, but I was like, oh, well, that's okay. I can still use that on something else. So if you are experimenting with your sizes and you have a little problem with it, don't throw them away. Okay, another thing about decoupage tissue is it has elasticity and it will stretch. I'm going to just... I'm not going to sand it off because I think it's too wet right now. I'm just going to go ahead and just glue it down. Actually, I might try sanding or cutting it. Oh, I know. I'll get my pretty scissors. Aren't these pretty? I love these scissors. And then this has a rounded edge on it. Hi, Pamela. Okay. These guys would, you remember when I did a stack of books recently? I did them, not recently, I did them before Halloween. These would be cute done on a stack of books. I love that stack of books. I know Halloween's over, but mine's still out because I just really like it. Okay, so I think doing the raised stencil up here, let me see, I have some smaller ones. here's a good one we could use. Melissa, I bet you recognize these stencils. That would be really cute on there. So let me go get, because I wasn't planning on doing it, so let me go get my stuff. Okay, so we're going to use Dixie Belle Mud, and it comes in white, black, and brown. And I've used all of them, but I seem to, my go-to is the white. And it doesn't really matter because you can paint right over it. So it doesn't really matter what color you're using. And you can add paint color to it, which is what we'll do here. I got to figure out what color I want to do on here. And it dries really, really hard. And I use it a lot on furniture when you, like, for instance, if you're doing a piece of furniture and you don't like the handles or the knobs that are on the drawers of a piece of furniture and you want to change them, but the holes are in the wrong places or the wrong size, you can use this and fill those holes like putty, and it will dry super, super hard and it doesn't shrink. So, and if you've got cracks in a tabletop that you need to fill, I mean, this is the thing. This is good stuff. So I don't need a lot, and I think I want to color it this same color, so I'm going to add some drop cloth to it. And another thing, this is a pretty old jar. Another thing is you need to keep it refrigerated. Don't leave it out because it will mold if you leave it out and it'll get stinky. So before I do it on this piece, I'm going to just do it on one of these little pieces. And just experiment. And I want to add a little bit of the drop cloth to it, not too much. You don't want to change the thickness, but I just wanted to add a little bit of color. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do that because I can just paint the drop cloth over the top of it. So I don't even need that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little experiment on here. You need a palette knife. And you just take it and just spread this on. This is like a paste. And then you want to just lift straight up like that. That turned out pretty darn good. So that's what we're going to do over here. And there are some edges here I just want to clean up while it's still pliable. I just hadn't done this in a while, but you can do this with any stencil. And that looks pretty cool, huh? And I think it'll look really cool on here because I am going to do some antiquing on here. I see in the camera I got a little bit there I need to clean out too. And this dries super hard, super hard. So it's a great product to have on hand. It's not one you use a whole, like really often, but I've done big stencils. I was just looking at that piece of furniture, a picture of it, a couple of days ago, and I sold it up at Penner's conference, and it was a big pink dresser. It was an antique dresser. And it was really pretty. And I did like a big bee design. I still have the design because I made this stencil. And it was on each side of the dresser. And that was really pretty. Now this doesn't stretch all the way over, so I'm gonna have to be creative about getting those two edges done. I love the hearts, you guys. Thank you. Just a little reminder, if you think this is a video that someone else would enjoy, I always appreciate it when it gets sprinkled around. And if you aren't following me, I would really love it if you would. The more followers we have, the more Facebook shares. It affects our algorithms, and Facebook will share you if it thinks you got a lot of people that are interested in your content. Otherwise, you can I just got an email from somebody she's been doing this as long as I have, and she's just gotten stagnant with her numbers. Her page just wasn't growing, and she just didn't feel like she was getting shown much anymore. And I told her, I said, it's because Facebook changed how their business model, and now if you want to get shown, you have to get your followers, and you got to pay for it. So this is a public service announcement for all of the creators, all your favorite creators. They just appreciate it so much. So since my stencil doesn't cover here and there's a spot over there it doesn't cover, I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to let it completely dry. And then tomorrow I'll come back and put the stencil down in those areas. And another thing, you don't want to wash your tool or paintbrush or whatever you're using with this. You don't want to wash it in your sinks in your house. You definitely need to take this outside to wash it, because this dries up like cement and it can actually damage your plumbing. So don't do that. Okay, and now I'm going to lift it up. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. I love it. And it just needs to get more there, I wish. I know what I can do. I'll just cut the stencil. Just need a corner. I think I'm going to put a little of this over the decoupage too now. And let's see, I'm not going to do a big spot of it. What do you guys think about doing it sporadically here or there? You like it or not like it? Queen Bee, you're a sister? I didn't realize that. Yeah, I like it. I like it on here, just like a little surprise. Just kind of ties it all together. check your comments in just a second. I'm concentrating, you guys. Okay. Do you think it needs any down here along the bottom? I'm kind of like torn about putting some on the bottom. Should I stop here, or do you think it needs some down here? Kathy, thank you so much. I could put a little piece right down here and then let that be it. You guys aren't talking to me. I'm just going to do it. Since you're not talking to me, I'm just going to do it. Got some. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. And then I need to get this stencil into some water so it doesn't harden and dry on here and ruin my stencil. So bear with me for a second while I go throw this in some water. Just while I'm doing that, you just enjoy looking at our sweet little girl. Okay, did you guys miss me? Okay, you guys. That's as far as we're going to go with her today. And then next Tuesday, I'll be back because I'm here every Tuesday and Wednesday. And next Tuesday, oh, you know what? It wasn't showing up over here on my screen, your messages. I see where you said, Mary said it's perfect like it is. Queen Bee said, bottom please. Karen said, late, but we'll catch the rerun. I'm sorry, for some reason that didn't show up over here on my iPad. That's crazy. But anyway, I love what this looks like. I really do. And that white will get, give you a close-up. That's really a pretty stencil on there. And just a touch of it here and there. And we're going to antique it. And it's going to be really pretty. And then next Tuesday, we'll do the boy, her boyfriend, that's courting her and bringing her flowers. We'll do him next week. So if you guys are interested in these decoupage tissues, I, at the beginning of the video, explained how to print them off, how to prevent them bleeding. Thank you, Karen. And how to decoupage with them, because that came out beautiful. And there's other ones on there. There's some on there that are Christmassy. I don't know what else I have on there, but I put these up there today. And I may put some more up. So you guys, and the links for my Etsy site are in the description there. So you guys, thanks so much for joining in. It was really fun to have all of you helping me along with all of this. And it was fun for me. And I hope to see you guys all again on Tuesday next week. I'm here every Tuesday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, and I'm usually on for an hour. So whatever time you have right now, back it up an hour and wherever you're living, and that'll tell you what time I go live every week. So you guys have a great evening. Thanks so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye.